drama Selma, which came out in 2014. So while researching like what even a docudrama is, and while like even looking up other, like looking up the film and what people call it, some call it a biopic, some call it a docudrama, some call it a historical drama. So I just found three definitions, and I realized that docupic is more geared towards the person. So it's a dramatization of the life of a particular figure. So if it was about Martin Luther King alone, then it would have been a biopic. So it wasn't exactly that. A docudrama, fictionalized drama based primarily on actual events, which is what it's closer to because it was about the Selma to Montgomery riot that happened in 1965, or historical drama, which it also could be called a film set in and reminiscent of a historical past, which it was. Some conventions that are used in docudramas or historical dramas, they tend to cast actors very close to how the actual people looked. The character names and places usually stay the same, so it would reflect actual life. Because if it was Martin Luther King but they use a different name, then it wouldn't even make sense. And a lot of the locations and dates also remain the same. So they did film in a lot of the actual locations that the Selma riots happened in. So this is one of the actors, David Oyelowo. He was used to play Martin Luther King. They look pretty similar, or they were shaped to look similar, so they probably did a little thing with his mustache or whatever. This is Carmen Ojogo. She played Coretta Scott King, who is Martin Luther King's wife. This is President Johnson and Martin Luther King, and this is just a position of them. And this is Jamie Lee Jackson, who was killed in the film. In the film, they showed him being killed in a restaurant on the scene, but actually, when in real life he was shot, but he died like a week after in hospital. So this is how docudramas tend to change a little things for dramatic effect, but we'll get into that afterwards. So why create them? According to the reading, Jeremy Sanford said that real people are inarticulate when disaster hits them, and there can be flashes of emotions in a live documentary, but these flashes cannot be sustained through an entire film. And an actor in the script will be able to, evoke the exact emotions of what actually happened, and you will get to see it from the standpoint of more than one person, as opposed to, archival footage. You might just see like a flash of Martin Luther King. You might not know much about the backstories of the other people involved. So it had a more inclusive, feel when it comes to portraying it. And also, events portrayed were probably inaccessible because they were in the past or lying some sort of secrecy. So we might not know what happened in Martin Luther King's bedroom when he was talking to Coretta Scott King, but they would have recreated something for us to have an idea of what might have went down or what might have been said. So this is the real Martin Luther King and the real people involved, by the way. It's a historical drama which recounted the Selma to Montgomery March in 1965, which was geared towards getting voting rights for African Americans, because they had a lot of boundaries when it came to voting. They either had to do a bunch of literacy tests or exams, and if they wanted to change the law, they had to be part of a jury. To be a part of a jury, you have to be registered to vote. So no matter where you went, I'm more than likely to be registered to vote, you have to be white, and you're not really going to get a white person to vouch for you to be registered to vote. So it's wrong in circles, so they never got the opportunity. So that was what this film was about. It was spearheaded by Martin Luther King, and it changed policy. I told you about the whole cycle. It showed the journey from Martin Luther King winning the Nobel Peace Prize to him going to President Johnson talking about, we would like to have the right to vote without barriers, straight down to when they were actually granted the right to vote. Many scenes, as I said, were shot in Selma, Montgomery, places around Alabama, and remain authentic to the story, and some were also filmed in Georgia. The film was written by Paul Webb, directed by Ava DuVernay, even though she did like 90% allegedly of the rewrites, but she didn't credit herself for it. Lee Daniels was the initial director, but he went on to direct The Butler. It was produced by Brad Pitt, Oprah Winfrey, and a bunch of other production companies. Filmed on a $20 million budget, and it gained $66.8 million back, which isn't really much, but whatever. was nominated for many awards and accolades, including Best Picture nomination at the Oscars, and they won Best Song, which was sung by Common and John Legend, Glory. It's a really good song. And at the Golden Globes, it received a Best Director, Best Actor, Best Motion Picture Drama nom, and it won Best Song again. This is the director, Ava DuVernay, and director, David Oyelowo, on set. About Ava, she was born on the 24th of September 1972. She directs, produces, markets, and distributes films, and she graduated from UCLA with a degree, with a double major in English and African American Studies. She was the first black female to be nominated for Best Director at the Golden Globes for this very film. And before she started working in film, she worked in journalism and PR. And her first film was actually a documentary called Good Life Cafe, called This Is the Life, based on the Good Life Cafe, where she used to perform poetry and other stuff. Her first narrative film, I Will Follow, was created on a $50,000 budget, US, and was selected to several festivals, including the Pan American Film Festival, AFI Film Festival, Chicago International Film Festival. And her second narrative feature played at Sundance and earned her Best Director award, being the first African American female to win such an award. She's been blazing trails ever since. If you have own, she's creatively producing a film called Cool Sugar there, where all the directors are females for every single one of the episodes, different backgrounds, whether Asian, black, white, very inclusive. Again, on set, this time at Oprah. There was some controversy concerning the film and the accuracy of the film. Joseph Californo Jr., who had a very close relationship with the President Johnson, he accused DuVernay, who did a lot of rewrites, for falsely portraying how the relationship between President Johnson and Martin Luther King. In the film, Johnson was initially kind of complacent about the all rights to vote thing, and he said he had better things to focus on, like, relieving poverty. So he kind of, didn't pay too much attention to it, but who knows what really happened in real life. As we said, we weren't there, and, it's just it's a docudrama, so who knows how much of it could be fact. Others were disappointed that not all groups and people were included, so there was this Jewish group who they were angry that they weren't represented in the film, but at the same time, you can't really have everybody represented in the film. And DuVernay, she didn't have the rights to the Martin Luther King speeches. The rights were actually bought by a film in 2009, which was going to be directed by Steven Spielberg, and they didn't give them the rights to the actual speech, so she had to rewrite the speech. She said she spent months, studying his speech patterns, and she realized that he spoke in thirds, and did anything to keep it as close as possible to the message, without obviously unrightfully using the actual words. She, in response to the criticism, said, it is not a documentary, I am not a historian, I am a storyteller. So she literally shut down all the, controversy that was behind it. And there was also another person associated with the film who said that, a lot of times they don't really do that they don't really fight down the authority of a bunch of other films. Why should they do this for this film? How was Selma a docudrama? Well, it employed a lot of the conventions that, are intrinsic to docudramas. And it can be seen in the clip. She dramatized a lot of these situations that occurred. Did I find the thing? Oh yeah, she dramatized some of these situations. So,
I accept this honor for our lost ones, whose deaths paved our path.
they don't know this. Oh
So the situation here, this is what allegedly started the whole wanting to sorry, Sophie. This is allegedly what started the whole movement in the first place because these four girls, they were the KKK planted a bomb where they were, and they died, and it was a big controversy. And this was, the recreation of that entire situation. And she also, there was another clip. They use a lot of music and well, they shot in a kind of way where, it evoked a lot of emotion from you and added to the drama and heightened the emotions, and it made you really feel for what happened at the time.
Keep that sidewalk clear. Clear. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Get the hell out of the way. Keep the sidewalk clear. I said keep it clear.
Okay, we're about to sit down. You can't sit.
You need to learn.
You don't sit.
Sit